Ole, 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 ole. Unbelievable. How does this happen? How are you making me look so stupid on my channel? Look, all I end up doing is saying there's a bunch of bandwagon shirt-tucking corporate fans. We end up gaining traction on YouTube. Everybody's having a good time. I start watching Leafs games like crazy. They're winning all over the place. I'm even starting to get on the freaking bandwagon. And this is what you do? You lose or set up to lose in the first round to the Montreal freaking Canadiens. Wow. Leafs Nation has to be going nuts right now. And you know the Habitants fans are through the roof. They love it. They love it. And the biased Jets fan reaction to this game is about to come at you. We're going to talk about this game. We're going to talk about what's wrong with the Leafs right now because it's unfreaking believable. We're even going to talk a little bit about round two, depending on which one of these teams win. I'll give you a prediction for the series. It's going back to Toronto. And welcome to the worst sports channel on YouTube, Hot Garbage Sports, with me, Coach Ryan T. Roll the intro. Two different hockey games. Again, I have never seen teams gain control and go to sleep like these two teams have. Normally there's momentum. Yes, I understand games can shift, but it's becoming like super predictable. Habs come out like fire. Habs end up getting out shooting the Leafs. Habs are all over the Leafs. Leafs are half asleep. Habs go up a few goals. Leafs come back and their depth ends up scoring a few goals. Carey Price is on fire. Jack Campbell looks okay. The Leafs dominate in overtime. The Habs end up winning, and the guys who end up winning in overtime are the guys who were benched in game one. Anybody else see this coming? Because it's becoming a pattern. The game opens up with Montreal absolutely carrying pace in the play, and you got to think that's due to the home fans and the fired up attitude that they had going back home to their arena after an overtime win. They end up out shooting the Leafs in the first half of the game, just by a staggering amount again for a team with this much depth. The shots are 21-15. At the end of the second period. I mean, for a team that was poised and ready to win the Stanley Cup and number 2 ranked on moneypuck.com, and even me who is seeing just a disgusting amount of depth and talent on the Leafs, and even actually admitted that I think this is not only the team to win Canada, but probably the best chance Canada has at a Stanley Cup, and they're barely getting through Montreal because they have one hot goalie? Oy vey. JT is out, sure. Jake Muzzin gets hurt today. That is backbreaking, absolutely backbreaking, unbelievable, pulls a groin. Foligno ends up returning, but the Leafs have been built to withstand this. Kyle Dubas went out and bolstered every position he could, from goaltending to defense to forward, plugging holes with veterans at trade deadlines, bringing guys in, and unfreaking believable that this would be occurring right now. You cannot blame the fact that 2 players are out when you're this deep. You cannot. There is something going on with Leafs leadership in that locker room right now where guys are running scared. They're not thinking they can win. They're doing the right things. And the veteran presence of the Montreal Canadiens is calm and collected under Shea and Carey Price, and they're beating you. End of story. There's nothing else to say other than that. This is the playoffs. It is a totally different game. So is it the mental grit or is it the physical grit? Because you got out hit again. Montreal is throwing bod. They're playing fantastic defense. They are really getting under your skin at this point. And now that we're going to game 7, it's a 50-50 coin flip. Let's break down the game. The game's scoring ends up opening up by Corey Perry because Jack Campbell is supposedly interfered with in the crease. And I'm going to put air quotes on that. Jack Campbell was out of his own crease trying to find a puck. He couldn't find it. He was out of the blue paint. As soon as the puck went into the blue paint, a Montreal Canadiens player entered the blue paint, not allowing Campbell to get back in. Sounds like goaltender interference until when you read the rule, you understand that once the puck's in the crease and it's uncovered, it is free game for anybody. So he did not interfere with Jack Campbell. It is the right call. Corey Perry ends up putting it in. 1-0 Habs. Tough. Yikes. Goal number 2 happens because a good challenge. I think it was a fine challenge by Keefe. I would have challenged it. Most coaches would. I think the fans were happy that challenge happened. Let me know down below in the comments. The most ridiculous 5-on-3 setup I have ever seen in my life, with 3 people down low in a horizontal line and 2 people up top. I'm not even going to pull up the clip because it's just, I don't understand it. I think it's embarrassing. The whole point to a 5-on-3 is making backdoor cross ice passes, shrinking in those 3 players so you can tap one in, creating 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s all over the ice. But let's go ahead and take point shots. Montreal, whatever. And they're losing to this team. You end up scoring because Tyler Toffoli ends up scoring. It's a really weird goal that goes in, short side on Campbell. He ends up stuffing it. 2-0 Habs. What a game. And speaking of what a game, if this is your first time to the channel, this is a Biased Jet Rans review of the NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs. And if you're interested in humor and analysis from outside your home state or province, hit that subscribe button and stay with us all the way to the Stanley Cup. We'd love to have you here. Comments down below. Smash a like, baby. Back to the game. The depth of the Leafs and the veteran presence. Oh, we have talked about Jason Spezza like crazy. Ends up coming back and making the game 2-2. It's like we've seen this movie before. I've been on the ride. I've got the t-shirt, but Jason Spezza ends up putting one off a Habs player. I can't tell you how much I love Jason Spezza and Corey Perry at league minimum. I can't tell you. I can't believe no one else in the league wanted these guys at that. I know it's a hometown discount, but these guys are worth $2 million. No reason they shouldn't be $2 million players on other teams, but they are making a difference in the playoffs because they're just amazing players. He puts it off a Habs player. That's basically 3 goals for the Habs, just won the wrong way. Game's 2-1. And then TJ Brodie, unlikely hero, puts it off a Habs player again to force overtime. The Habs have scored all 4 goals at this point. The best way you can score on Carey Price is rebounds and deflections, because if he can see it, he's going to stop it. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. These are nice lucky bounces that end up going in. But let me ask you a question down below in the comments. Where's the top line? What are they? Where are they? Where's Matthews? Where's Marner? This guy leads the NHL, Auston Matthews, in goals per 60 minutes on the ice, 5-on-5, power play, like all over. He's the #1 goal scorer in the NHL in the last 25 years. Period. End of story. No empty net goals this year. Gone quiet. Habs have shut him down, just like the Jets shut down McDavid. Playoffs is definitely a different game, boys. And if we're talking about Matthews or McDavid and who's the better player, I'm going to say something. McDavid didn't have a team in front of him. He had 2 players. Auston Matthews has an entire team. If you can't do this, Auston Matthews, I ain't giving you the McDavid treatment where I say, well, you're still the best player in the world because you need a team in order to win a series. I'm going to sit here and go, you have the team behind you. You have everything you could ever need. And if you ask a Leafs fan, Jack Campbell's the greatest goalie that's ever lived. So you even have goaltending. There's no reason you shouldn't win this series or be scoring. You got to be frustrated at least. I'm a freaking Jets fan and I'm fired up. All right. I don't even have a horse in this race. Fired up about Matthews. Look what you've done to me, Leafs fans. Look what you've done. Tucking my shirt in. Mitch Marner as well is the man programmed to get pucks for Auston Matthews, and they're just getting shut out. They're getting shut out. This, I said last video, link above. These line combinations of the Habs right now are very, very good. Very good. Ducharme has finally found his way. The veteran line 4. I love KK's line 3. I love Suzuki's line 2, but it should be line 1, and Deneau's line 1 should be line 2, but I don't care. 1A, 1B, it's working. Really good line combinations. Jeff Petrie, maybe you should wake up a little bit, just a little bit. Norris candidate defenseman goes to sleep in the playoffs. Well, we end up going into overtime where the Leafs outplay the Habs like crazy, but because line 1 and even line 2 are completely asleep and we're only playing on line 3 and line 4, Habs win. Unbelievable how they win. Dermott turns it over. Puck ends up on KK's stick. He wins the game. The guy who is benched for the first game because he's too young to be able to enter this lineup along with Caulfield, and Caulfield and KK end up carrying you to a game 7. Ducharme, figure it out, man. I'm glad you got it now, but like everybody told you this was the way to go. And Sandin or Dermott, I guess at this point, Leafs fans, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like whoever you put in at this spot, I've been saying it for a while. You got a few holes on the D and on the back end, and they're there. They're glaring. They end up costing you the game. Sandin ends up costing you game 5 because of 2 turnovers. 2. Dermott ends up costing you game 6 because he can't get a puck out of the zone. You need these players to be able to step up when guys like Muzzin leaves. That is the test of true depth, and it doesn't happen, and you need Campbell to stop that puck. It was the second shot of overtime. I don't care what the shot is. It's number 2. Carey Price stopped 15 and 13. You want to talk about an elite goalie? That is an elite goalie. There are only 3 elite goalies in the league. Price, Vasilevsky, Hellebuck. Fleury too, stupid. There's 4. It's so easy to forget about him when he keeps getting traded, cut, and benched for backup goalies and then proving us wrong later, eh? Go ahead and send down below in the comments anybody you want. Those are the 3. 1, 2, and 3. End of story, guys. Well, game 7 is coming up. It's going to be in Toronto. This is a 50-50 coin flip now. Line 1 for the Leafs needs to show up. Matthews needs to show up. Marner needs to show up. Foligno needs to show up. You need to put in some goals, use that depth, and you need to play 3 periods. You haven't played 3 periods yet. Even in games you won, you go to sleep in the third, you win the game. Go to sleep in the first, you're unable to catch up to the Habs catching up to you. Oh my goodness. Play 3 periods, Leafs. If you want a Stanley Cup, you need to be able to put those together. And when people talk about the fact that the Jets were this close, so like struggling, oh my God, they didn't struggle. Mike Smith carried the series. When the Jets end up facing either the Leafs or the Habs, I'm sorry, guys. I was all over the Leafs. I was never all over the Habs, but I was all over the Leafs to win. I don't care who we play. Jets in 6. Yikes. What a series though, right? Stay back here. Stay tuned. We'll cover game 7. Go Leafs, go Habs, but most importantly, go Jets. Go try and D out.